Modded. Right guys, welcome back. Episode 30, deadline is 13th of the month for upload on the 15th, and let's jump straight in with Mally E. This is a young fella from my neck of the woods in Perth. He does the West Nerf Facebook page and hosts a lot of events around the place for people. One of the driving forces in Perth, and he's finally sent in a blaster. He says this is his custom Harrier. It doesn't have a name yet. Well, let's work on that for him, eh? Comments down below. And he says the build details. Wish.com parts site, foregrip, torch, sling mounts, NXT Armory stubby B-car, NXT Armory suppressor custom green inlays. A 1.6 300mm spring with a Sabre metal plunger catch, which from the photo looks like it's made out of brass. That's impressive. Must need it from the power of the spring. And the paint job is a white night fluoro green splinters, black base coat, and light green satin splinters painted on by hand. And he's done an excellent job. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I like the safety with the orange suppressor on the end, you know, just so nothing's going to happen. But I actually went to one of his events, and it was just held in a park in the middle of suburbia, and nobody cared. All these people running around screaming zombie brains, eat, and shooting darts at each other. But it was great fun, and this is a gorgeous looking blaster. He's done a really good job on this, very professionally set up, and you can tell he's taken his time, because I've been watching this on the Facebook page and it's been going on for a few months. So well done, Mally. Excellent looking blaster, excellent. Here we have a bit of Orwell's warning craziness. It is a Nerf Maverick with a Demolisher rocket launcher integration with retracting slide connecting to the trigger. So it's a single shot pistol rocket launcher, which is brilliant, very clever. They do exist in history, Panzerfaust for one. But this is genius. I mean, this is the ultimate backup pistol. Take out a whole horde of zombies with this one. He says it's got a Borderlands video game inspired cosmetic spray paint. No kidding, Orwell. Text is machine cut vinyl sticker. Use 2-part epoxy to weld the rocket in. There is also a LED connect to the trigger. Okay, so we've got a little bit of lighting up action happening. And he said he used what's called plastic dip spray on the rocket so he could paint it. Yeah, if you remember, the rockets are quite soft foam, and if you hit them with any sort of paint, even water-based, they can start taking damage. But this plastic dip is stuff, I think in Australia it's like $20, $25 a can, but you spray it on high-density foam, 2 or 3 coats, and you can then paint whatever you want on it. Brilliant stuff. But this is just a genius little thing. I mean, having that as a backup when you're cornered, you know, the ultimate kamikaze, really. I'd really like to know what Torgu means, if I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe it's something from Borderlands, I don't know. But it's a really good looking gun, and his paint's impeccable and clear, and his cell shading just makes it such a comic book character itself. Well done, mate. Well done. All right, next up we've got Papa Bludgeon with an odd one, not a blaster as such. He says it's he saw something on Maritime Foam's channel. I had to have one of my own. I've dubbed it the Armed Platform, ARMD. It just straps to your forearm, and then you can add any blaster with a Picatinny rail. At the moment I could add 3 different blasters to the platform. He'd like to thank Julian at Empire 3D for printing it off at short notice. Okay, so it's basically a forearm mount for any type of blaster, and you can see the 3 different ones he's got. I would assume each blaster would have to have a remote way of firing it, whether it's a string to your fingers up front or something back down your arm. I'm not quite sure here, but it's certainly an unorthodox way of doing things. And it looks like single shot, but I'm assuming you could probably put a master key on this and, you know, whack something on top of that, like anything with a Picatinny rail. And you just have to be very good at cocking on your forearm. But interesting idea, interesting concept. Yeah, quirky. Okay, moving on. This one's from Richard G, and it's a modified Strife. And when I say modified Strife, I mean basically the only thing left original is the shell. It's got a total rewire, worker flywheel cage and flywheels, 130 Fang revamp motors, 21 amp switch, short dart pusher, extended mag release, extended rev trigger, custom trigger, hand guard, short dart mag adapter and mag, red dot sight and front hand grip. And also he's added a Nerf buttstock from looks like the N-Strike series to it as well. He's done a really good job of this. The painting and the build is quite sharp as it is, but the painting's so nice and neat and clean. Now, I do notice there is no barrel at the front sticking out under that front foresight. Now, I'm wondering if he's got a easily removable orange barrel that he uses when he actually plays with the blaster, which would be quite a safe bet. It's really nicely done. I particularly like the front foregrip. It looks very military, and I like that sort of thing. It's even got in front of the magwell a secondary angle grip, just in case you need it. Love the red dot sight on top. I've got a few of those myself. I have lots of fun with them, playing around and moving them from blaster to blaster. If anybody knows where I can get a red dot sight on eBay with a pressure switch, put it down in the comments, because I've been looking for one for years. I got one once, but I just cannot find them again. But this is really, really nicely done. It's so sharp and neat and clean. He's a good modder, Richard. Very good modder. Excellent work, mate. Looking forward to the next one. Right, guys, this is another one. As you know, I sometimes reach out to people online when I see something I like and ask them to send some photos. And this guy, I believe it's pronounced Quay. I'm assuming he's Chinese, but that's what Google Translate's telling me. So I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. But what he's done here, it looks like it's a Caliburn, and even that I'm not sure about, because there's a search for the type of blaster, and there are lots of things that look similar. But he's shoehorned it into the front of a Rapid Strike housing, and then cut the housing down enough that he can have a interchangeable barrel or scar muzzle or whatever you want to call it. Short dart mag, so that's the only reason I think it's a Caliburn or some derivation of it. And he's, the photos he sent out, I've got 40 images in various stages of production, and honestly, at first glance, I thought I had 40 different images of 40 different blasters. But this is pretty cool. I like the way he's done it. I could only imagine when he's got it painted up, which you'll see in the last image, it comes together really, really well. He's done a really good integration. I have no details whatsoever from him, no information at all. So I don't know how it fires, how far it goes. I don't even know how he cocks it. From what I understand, the Caliburn cocking is underneath, and he's got that huge Raptor Strike body there. So very nicely done, Quay. I just wish I had some more information to tell people. Anyway, moving on. Jumping to the other side of the world, this is from a fellow in France. He goes by the nickname Oiplonk. Don't ask me why, but it sounds good. What we've got here is a photo of a Fortnite BASR body, which a friend has asked him to make into a Wookiee bowcaster. So he's designed some parts on Fusion 360, a front piece that'll support the barrel, the bow arms, the sling mount. And the other parts, he did what anybody would do, find another bowcaster and download and use them. Why repeat the work when it's already been done? But this is brilliant, the way he's put it together. And when you see the finished piece, it's really sells the image. It looks like a bowcaster, and if you know the Star Wars canon, bowcasters are all different shapes and sizes. So, okay, it doesn't look like Chewbacca's, but it's probably not meant to look like Chewbacca's. He's painted it with black paint and varnish, and then just graphite powder, which works great. You just rub that in, and you get the shiny metallic look to it. And this looks great. He's done a really, really good job. My only gripe is I only have these two photos. I would have loved some other images for other angles because it looks so good. I'm wondering the Fortnite BASR body, is that a comfortable length from the pistol grip to the butt? I just wonder about that as well. But other than that, it's brilliantly done. It's a really good, simple modification. One of you guys has done it again. You've taken one of these horrible Fortnite blasters, which I absolutely hate to look at, and you've turned it into something interesting. Well done, mate. Very impressed. Continuing the international flavour, we've got Dan H, and I believe he's from Europe somewhere, and what he's got here is an Adventure Force Nexus Pro, plus a couple of other bits and pieces. And what he says, he doesn't mod them because they already shoot 140 FPS out of the box. So he says he sands the blasters and magazines down to remove all evident logos, either with sandpaper or Dremel. Then he takes the blasters apart and keeping the internals safe, he begins to work on the shells. He weathers them by making cuts and gaps where I thought appropriate or dramatic. These things look very dramatic, mate. Then a coat of grey primer, a coat of black paint and a metallic dry brush. Some parts were left like that. Then I applied liquid latex with a sponge where I wanted a flaky green effect, flaky paint effect. I then paint parts a khaki greenish, and once that layer was dry, brushed off the latex. Okay. Some highlights were added with metallic paint, a layer of gloss varnish, and then the decals were added. I used a variety of Warhammer Astra Militarum decals, but that's a nice little touch. And to give it a bit of a gothic look too. Then I gave it another layer of gloss varnish and a wash of black and brown acrylic paint. Clever, protect the decals. And it was finished with a layer of matte varnish. Reassembled the blasters, added tape for the post-apocalyptic vibe, gave the tape the same acrylic wash, and called it good. They're more than good, Dan. They're gorgeous. I love the look of the things. And the comparison photo of the Pro and then painted, it's just amazing what a paint job can do, how much more realistic it can look. And on that note, probably not a safe bet to take these things outside anywhere. I've heard in some countries in Europe, you're not even allowed a Nerf blaster in public. You know, bright orange. It's a big no-no apparently. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this stuff is gorgeous, and the wear and tear weathering he's done on the magazines is just really, really good. I'm going to have to steal that idea and start doing a bit of that on mine. He's just executed this so well. You can see these as a props in a science fiction movie or something. Outstanding work, mate. Outstanding. And finally today we have that genius of modding, Coffin Black Media. Now this one, he says, is just a stock Aeon Pro. It's not stock anymore once he's got his hands on it. But he says, nothing much to tell about it. I just wanted to step away from what I'm doing and try some with colour. Well, that was a big step. That looks gorgeous. I believe it's called a Flame Fade. And it looks really, really well done. He's taken his time. And he's painted really, really well with a steady hand. You can barely see the transitions from one colour to the next. I'm really, really impressed. He does beautiful work, and the detailing, the wear and tear, the worn metal marks. I mean, he's done it better than I ever could. Other little details like the grey notches below the slide just help to break up the shape, because even though it's a colourful scheme, it's still just one scheme down it. And you just want little things to catch your eye and have, you know, focus points that draw your eye to other bits. Like you look at those notches and then you see the slide, and then you see the front muzzle and the air vents. Really well done, cleverly planned out. The wear and tear on it is brilliant, especially the magazine, the worn magazine. And what I think is a really good feature is the pistol grip. The wear on that, blaster furniture these days, you know, like real guns, is plastic. It's solid, it's resin, and it doesn't really wear. Even if it gets a scratch on it, it's the same colour inside. But he's done really well to just put just enough wear on it to pick out the details. You can see the grip pads on it. You can see the notches in the back. It's really, really well done. And then the magazine itself, the wear on the magazine, and just little areas that catch the eye and drag you all over the thing. He's such a talented painter, Coffin Black. Alright guys, that's it for today. No slideshow because I'm just not getting enough submissions, but I am reaching out a lot more, and I'm trying to get people to put some stuff in. In researching this video, I came across some stuff that was absolutely gorgeous. It looks 3D printed. I've sent a message to the person who did it, asking if they'd be willing to submit some images and build details, but we'll have to see what happens with that. Alright guys, catch you next time. Remember, deadline's the 13th of next month for posting on the 15th. Bye now.